Well, we had our first big snowfall here on the ridge this winter, and the little animals didn't seem to care nothing about it, except for the deer. They seemed to love it. And the old groundhog didn't show up for Groundhog Day either, but old Dirty Dan did get out a little bit in the snow. Welcome, friends. Welcome to the foothills of the Smokies. Another chapter of As the Ridge Turns here. Now here's what it looked like when I pulled the cards for this video. Snow just about all melted away. But here's what it looked like right after the snow and during the snow, just before it quit. Beautiful snowfall. Here's what it looked like after it was done. It just turned cold, single digits, down to 0 at night a couple of nights. And the old pond, this is what it looked like when I pulled the cards. It had a little water in it frozen. And here's what it looked like right after the snowstorm. Cold. But the animals don't matter. These deer seem to love it no matter what it is. Well, I hope y'all doing well out there and staying warm, that's for sure. Now these old cameras, I had 3 or 4 didn't produce. They look like this. Some of them I just couldn't get to, and I had batteries go dead in about 4 of them. But this is what snow does in this cold weather, these cameras. So I want you to sit down and relax and enjoy, and let's see what stepped in front of the cameras. Now when I pulled the cameras, early there for Dirty Dan, the Groundhog Day, I seen the deer walking up in the woods. But here, just before the storm up on the ridge, is a groundhog up here. I don't know if it's Dirty Dan or not, but he's out fooling around just before this snowstorm hit. Just the evening before. And after the snow, next morning, here's what it looked like. Deer seemed to be the only thing that enjoyed it. They moved around good in it. But the little squirrels, they don't care much about it because they have a hard time finding them nuts. But they don't quit. But I know it's so cold on them. Ain't they comical? And there's that hurt deer that's healed up, and her little yearling. That's his first taste of snow. Wonder what it thinks of it in this cold weather. And the turkey was out moving around a little bit in the ridge. I don't know if they liked it or not. I doubt it. Beautiful toms, ain't they? They're just getting ready to do their thing here this month or so. Good to catch them in the woods. And before the snow hit, the little deer just browsing around, munching on the leaves, whatever they can find of these acorns. And after the snow, they still browse. Even the whole herd's on the move. But the deer don't seem to mind this cold weather or the snow. They seem to like it. And it got cold here too. And they just moved back and forth across this ridge, one end to the other. Beautiful pictures of them. And they travel these little trails, paths, just like the other animals. Cameras is frozen up, but I did get some pictures out of most of them. And these deer, they don't care how cold or how deep the snow is. They'll just hunker right down and lay down in it and rest. Don't bother them. But down at the acorn pile before the big snow, little wren down here enjoying trying to find the crumbs. And across the other side of the ridge, deer just browsing through here at the stump. Them what they could find to scrounge on. But after the snow, the little deer back up on it, the little squirrels, I'm sorry, enjoying their breakfast. And after the snow going away, the little ground squirrels out on the ground again. And of course the squirrels, their favorite spot to eat on. And out the salt block, I guess just before the big snow come in, they're just browsing around down here, the whole herd, taking turns at the salt block. And after the snow, they still check by on a cold morning. Beautiful captures of them. And down at the cut, this is what the camera looked like at first after the snow. But the snow finally fell off of it. There's what it looked like to cut. That big snow come in the next morning. But before the snow, there's old Dirty Dan browsing through, getting what he can get before he gets snowed in. And of course the deer browsing through after it's going away. These are in no particular order, these pictures. And up at the log, it is snowed in. Little birds here trying to fool around. But I come and clean it off, clean the camera off, and throw down some of these reserve acorns and sunflower seeds for little Ricky and the birds. But the deer found it first. And all sorts of little birds enjoyed it. I know they would. They have a hard time getting anything to eat in this snow. And the old woodpeckers, they really enjoy these sunflower seeds. Ain't he pretty? And the little blue jays come in here. And the little sparrows and the cardinals. All the little birds enjoy these seeds. Beautiful male cardinals too. But they all share. Beautiful cardinals. The little birds get a little good share of everything. Well, there's old Ricky showed up. Quick flash in front of the camera. He comes and goes. But he ain't going to leave this far behind. He enjoys this. And he sits on eating as much as he can get. I'm glad they all got a little taste of this. And I know little Ricky would enjoy it. I'd save these acorns from the fall for him, for hard times. And I know he appreciates it, even though he don't know it. But he has a good time. Glad to see the little animals feed. And old Dirty Dan out here at the tree before the snow hit, prowling around. Well, he knows something we don't. Well, we do now. Big snow and cold spell coming. He's getting ready for it. And after the big snow, here's what it looked like that morning. Cold. And the deer, don't bother them. They just browsing through. Snow or no snow. Everything's so fresh and quiet. Except for them crows. They never shut up in this background here. This pretty little yearling here. But after it's all said and done, Dirty Dan finally shows up. He's out prowling around a little bit. But the day of his big debut with Groundhog Day, he didn't show up. Nothing stirred here at the rock. Of course, I can't say I blamed him. It was about 10 degrees that morning. But it did get a few pictures before the snow come in of him here. Enjoying himself on the patio. Now these cameras, it's got 30 gig memory cards in them, and they was completely full, and the batteries went dead on 2 of the cameras here. So I'll show you what I got of it. Little birds is the only thing stirring on a cold morning after the snow. Cold days. Looking for old Dirty Dan to come out. He wouldn't come out after that snow. It was a couple of days later before he showed his face. Well, I thought I'd feed him when I pulled these cameras to see if Dirty Dan come out for Groundhog Day. Throw him some sunflower seeds. And this destroys my cameras. They fill the cards up and run my batteries down. But that's what it's all about. And the deer was always first to find it, seems like. But the little birds, they get in on it. They find it, and they enjoy it. All sorts of little birds. They have a good time. And I'm glad to see them eat. Little songbirds. They're so precious. You always hear them singing in the background. Even the beautiful little cardinals here. Ain't they pretty? Year-round birds here. But old Dirty Dan, he finally shows up about 2 days later. And he ain't liking his snow. You can tell just by his appearance. And that's all I got on this camera. And on the back camera, here's what I got before the batteries went dead and hit before the snow. Old Dirty Dan back here prowling around. And he's getting up late. He's making sure he stays warm in that cave. He don't care what anybody else is doing. He knows what he's doing. And that's all I got of that camera. And down at the pond, here's what it looked like after the snow. And of course the deer prowling around in it, they don't seem to care. They enjoy it. And here's a long turkey fooling around in the snow. Passing through. And on the other camera, it done okay. The little birds before the snow here, just enjoying themselves, the little sparrows. But after the snow, all it seemed like you see is the deer passing around. And I thought these were does here fooling around, but these are bucks, the bachelor groups down here during the day. And you just occasionally see their head. There's some big old antlers there, ain't they? And they just prowl around in a little bachelor group to themselves. Ruts over, they're back to bacheloring. And after they're run off, the little birds is out here scrounging around again, trying to find them something to eat on, the little sparrows. And come dark, there's old No-Tail before the storm. Here he is during the storm or after it. Lucky to see anything on these cameras. And up at the rock cliff here, a little trail, there's a cat when it's starting to snow. Look like smoke. And there's a beautiful fox. But after the snow, they kind of got scarce, the little animals. Our little possum heading for cover. Starting to snow. And the coons. Old no-tail coming through. You can tell they're kind of comical. They know what this snow is, and they don't seem to like it. They don't like to be in it no more than they have to. But they do what they gotta do. You can tell they don't care much about it. And the deer browse while it's snowing, not snowing, it don't matter to them. They seem to enjoy the snow. Just passing in front of the cameras. There's a buck with a doe. One little old young one, broke antlers, passing in front of the camera. Just coming and going. And they'll lay down in this snow day or night and just rest. Down to acorn pile. Ours looks like a little yearling down there digging for acorns in the snow. They still going after them. There's a few to get still. And there's even some bucks in them. You can see their antlers on them there. And down at the salt block, the bachelor group's down here, enjoying a tasty treat of frozen salt block. Looks like there's 3 or 4 of them down here. They run around in little packs to themselves. Rare to catch some of these little pictures. Down at the cut, after the snow or before the snow, I don't know. They just coming and going. The deer and the bucks. And I'd say this is before. A little coon passing through. And the possum. Getting ready to snow. He's heading in somewhere. I can't tell if that's corkscrew or not. And at the tree, before the snow, old no-tail moving through. And the other bunch of the little coon family prowling around. And after the snow, they up there to something scared them off from the rock motel and they climbed the tree. Don't know what it was. Probably fighting amongst herself. And up at the rock, what pictures I got, these cameras working. Old coon or possum coming in. He's heading in. He don't like his snow. And a little bare feet in that snow, I know it's cold on him. Got him on the other camera too. He's just heading in. And the coons, they've been under this rock too, getting out of this weather. They don't like this snow either. They're just coming and going out from under that rock. No big no-tail. How's he get under there? Well, after I feed them, once they find this, they won't leave it till it's gone. And they had a good time. Now, all the little animals got in on this sunflower seed. I like to feed them when I can, only when it's snowing where they can't get to nothing. But boy, it's hard on the cameras and equipment. And up on the ridge, the old coon passing through before the storm. And a little rabbit, as it's starting to snow, he's moving through. And a break in the snow, the old deer moving through up on the ridge. Down at the pond, deer browsing through. Here's that bachelor herd, bucks, at night still at the pond. And I don't know what they're doing. I never fed them down here. They seem to be wrestling, playing a little bit. And they pulling the old bushes or honeysuckles and old blackberry bushes down behind the camera. But they finally get tired and move on. Now come dawn, little deer, just pictures of the little deer browsing around on a snowy morning with their little yearling. And a buck coming in at the salt block. And another day unfolds here on the ridge as that snow goes away. But it's time for the little squirrels. They really don't like the snow, but they try. They try to stay off the ground as much as they can. Subscribe, guys, to this channel if you like these little videos. And here's a funny one of a squirrel getting a nut froze to the leaves. Well, there you go. There's the snow on the ridge. Maybe we'll get another one, maybe we won't. Well, I want to thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy this. God bless every one of you. Stay warm out there. Take care, and I'll see you next time.